Om Shanti. 26th December 2018, Wednesday. Today's blessing is, may you be a self-sovereign, and by becoming a goddess of coolness, by making your physical organs cool and peaceful. The children who are self-sovereigns cannot be deceived by any of their physical organs. When the mischief that causes deception finishes and all their physical organs also become cool, you become a goddess of coolness, Shitala Devi. A goddess of coolness never has anger. Some say that they do not have anger, but that they have to be a little bossy. However, bossiness, robe, is also a progeny, ansh of anger. Where there is a trace of it, a whole progeny is created. So you are gods and goddesses of coolness, and this is why you must not allow the sanskars of anger or bossiness to emerge even in your dreams. Those children who are Swarajya Adhikari, self-sovereign, they are undeceived by any of their karmendriya or physical organs. And Baba says, when this mischief by physical organs or karmendriya finishes, that time you become goddess of coolness or god of coolness. And this goddess of coolness, Shitala Devi, will not have anger, not just that, but she won't be also bossy. And this bossiness, this robe, is also a progeny of anger. And so long as there is a trace of bossiness, the whole progeny would be created. So you are gods and goddesses of coolness, and that is why you must not allow sanskars of anger or bossiness to emerge even in your dreams. Who is Shitala Devi? In India, this is a folk Devi. So who is this Shitala Devi? And what is she? What does she represent? Who is Shitala Devi? You must have seen a lot of temples in India. Shitala Mata temple. In Mount also, I think it is there. Shitala Mata. So what she does? What is the specific department she heads? Which department she is looking after? Making everyone cool. She looks after Department of Health. Okay. She is the goddess who cures. This is a goddess. Not just chicken pox, but any diseases. That was old. So she helps in curing fever. That's why, which is her vahan, vehicle? Donkey. She rides on donkey, and she has got 4 arms. One arm is carrying cool water, so that if you have fever, she will pour cool water over you. The other arm is carrying those neem leaves. Neem, you know? Neem leaves. Arachidita indica. That's a botanical name. So neem leaves, so they are got medicinal value. The third thing which she is carrying is a broom. And the fourth thing she carries, some say fan, and some say it's scriptures. Scripture represent knowledge, and fan means if you have got fever, so she will do some service. So there was a demon, Jwarasur, whom she killed, and that's why she looks after this department of cooling people. So Baba saying, when all your karmendriya, they become calm. When all the karmendriya, all the physical organ do not have that excitement. When all the karmendriya, the agitation, the excitement, the nimbleness, chanchalta of those physical organs finish, the agileness, that time you become this Shitala Devi or Shital Dev, God or goddess of coolness. And this goddess of coolness will not have anger. And some say that we don't have anger, but then we have to keep others in check, under control. And that's why what they have is robe. I don't know how far the word bossiness is a translation for the Hindi word robe. Robe is something where one tries to show that one is superior to other and uses that authority to bully in one way someone who is inferior in position, in post, in seniority. And so that is to boss over someone. So that is something like force and robe. So that is robe. So these two are interconnected. Baba says that's the progeny of this anger. So this Shitala Devi riding on donkey and carrying these four things, and you see her temple all over India, even in Mount Abu. I don't know where it is, in Mount, near bus stand. So we are those gods and goddesses of coolness. So there are two questions here. The first is how to make these karmendriyas. How to make these karmendriyas. How to become master of these senses, self-sovereign, that is Swarajya Adhikari, so that not a single of these sense organ deceive us. So these karmendriya, there are 5 of them, most important. Sight, smell, sound, swad or taste, touch, or you can call it sparsh. Roop, ras, gandha, sparsha, shabda. So these are the 5 senses. So those who have controlled this, and those whom these physical senses do not deceive, they become gods and goddesses of coolness. Which is the most dangerous of these? Are you sure? Eyes. Okay. In fact, in the scripture they describe total 11 physical senses. So these 5 are known as Gyanendriya, and Karmendriya are other 5. Karmendriya are mouth, speaking. Karmendriya are hands. Karmendriya are legs. Karmendriya are organ of reproduction and organ of evacuation. So these are the 5 Karmendriyas, and these are the 5 Gyanendriyas. And the 11th is mind. They say mind is also a Karmendriya or the Sukshma Indriya. So these are the 11 Indriyas. So to control all of these is to become Jitendriya or Karmendriya Chit. And they say the most mischievous, and they link each other, is the organ of reproduction and taste. These are linked with each other. First is this, they deceive the most. The second is touch. And the third is eyes. That's how they describe in scriptures. But Baba, when he talks about Karmendriya, he often mentioned only these 5. He doesn't talk of those others which are described as Karmendriya in scriptures. So whatever, to become master of Indriyas, to become master of Karades, so what is the way to tame these unruly horses? How do we control the Karmendriyas? They are addicted to pleasures. They are addicted to indulgence. So how do you control these 5? How do we become master of anger? We are not describing at present. Anger would be manifested in these things. These are the channels, the doors through which anger would be seen. This is different. This Baba has divided it. We are dividing this into 2 parts. Baba first said to become Karmendriya Jit, Swarajya Adhikari, self-sovereign, and one who has controlled all of this. The result is that you become goddess of coolness. So the first is to control all of these, to become master of all of these. So how do you control? First, let's start with sound. What you hear. The ears are pleased. They love to listen to worldly music and worldly entertainments and all those things. So they are somehow addicted to all those things where there is a pleasure. Or to listen to all the evil things. This is to be under the influence of this Karmendriya, sound. What is our... Actually this all, we don't have to control at this level. The control should be at the level of soul. Because these are just the outside things about soul. So, if the soul is interested in listening to all the worthless things and worldly and cheap and frivolous entertaining sounds of the world, then this Indriya is not under control. Gradually we have to train our souls to listen to the spiritual, the divine music, the divine whispers, the divine melody, the divine symphony of God. So that gradually it develops vairag for all the worldly that jazz music which is so loud and which disturbs the soul. You can move around the cities and you see people are dancing to a very loud number and haphazardly they are dancing. And there's so much disturbance in that atmosphere. It's not cool and calm. There are very few people who love that cool and calm music. For the younger generation, such music is very boring. They love pop. They love rock music. They love to dance to the latest number. So this is how the ears get trained. And if suppose such a person is asked to listen to classical music, so they get very much bored. So these ears have become addicted to listen to worldly music. Change this addiction to divine music. First gross and then subtle. And the subtle divine music is the music of silence. When the ears don't relish anything of this world, but they are interested only into remaining totally introverted and listen to that anhad, nad. Second is smell. Smell is the most benign, non-malignant. It doesn't attract much. It's very easy to control. They say organ of evacuation and organ of smell. These are two are most benign. They don't cause you any disturbance in as regards excitement and all that. So smell. What we smell and what we do not smell. Even to get offended by obnoxious smell, by very fetid odor, is a sign that one is not Karmendriya Jeet. Just as the example they give of Dadi Gulzar when she was doing some class here long back, and suddenly there was a gush of air and the bath smell came out from the windows and everybody started making faces. Somebody covering the nose and somebody making all the weird expressions. And Dadi said, this is not the sign of being Karmendriya Jeet. Karmendriya Jeet means you should be able to tolerate all smells. That is also a thing about smell. The third is sparsh or touch. The body loves to touch the body. And that's how the Maya starts. And there's where the Maya begins. And there where the realm of Maya starts. This touch-born happiness. All touch-born happiness are conducive to pain. Sense and sense object, when they touch each other, the sorrow starts. The journey of sorrow starts. Because soul has tasted this pleasure of touch for 2500 years, and that's why it is very much interested in it. So all touch-born happiness, for that matter, leads to pain. If you have seen Avyakta Bhavdada, when he comes, how less he touches things. He will hold Dadi's hands, but very little, not much. He's so much, physically he is so stable. We have seen him. He is sitting in that body, but physically he is so stable. His hands, the movements of the hand, that nimbleness, that chanchalta is not there in his physical organs. He is very, very stable as regards physical organs. So, God is the master. He is really the self-sovereign. When He comes in the body, He controls that body. When we come in the body, we do not control the body. Body controls us. We run after that senses. And the most addictive sense is touch. Most addictive. You do it once, you want to do it again. You do it second times, you want to do it third time. You do it third time, you can't resist and it becomes dependence. It's just like alcohol. You become addict. That's why the fall of deities happened because of lust. Why did they fall? Because taste once is the fall. In Indian scriptures, at one place it is written, the test of sex is fall of man. The fall starts. So touch, sparsh is addictive. It's a great addiction hidden there. And that's why Baba has come to rid this world only of this one vice. Because no other vice is as strong as this touch. Because that creates a deep dependence and addiction and craving and excitement. And even when one is rid of it, the memory persists for a very long time. Because that happens at the level of subconscious mind. Rest things are happening maybe at the conscious, but this is totally at the level of subconscious mind, where one is 100% body conscious and there is a zero soul consciousness. The next is Swad. This is very strongly linked with Brahmacharya. The tongue, taste buds are linked to organ of reproduction. Very, very strong. Very, very strong connection. That's why for the practice of unbroken celibacy, control of taste is must. The one who is interested in all those rajasic food and tamasic food, give up the hope that you will practice brahmacharya. All the rajasic food is what? Which is rajasic food? Which is all the spicy, all the oily and all the salty. They are aphrodisiac. Yogi's diet should be very simple, very small. In Indian philosophy, this talk of samyak ahar. Samyak means right food. It has got three qualities. First, it should not create laziness, alas pramad. Second, it should not cause excitement. And third, it should be nourishing, health-giving. These three things should be there in the diet. It should not be too big, too much. It should be small in quantity. And it should be health-giving. And all those rajasic things, they will create excitement. And they are not conducive to practice of spirituality. And the last is, what is remaining? All done. Which is remaining? Nose, touch, ears, sound. Sound we said earlier. Sight, eyes. That Baba says number one. So what we see, that forms a very deep impression on the subconscious mind. Very important. And there are two things. One is 2D and 3D. Somebody sees a book and some picture. There are three things. One are words. Somebody reads a book 10 years back. What was in the book? I don't remember. Somebody sees a picture, a portrait. What was it? I can remember. But somebody sees a movie, which is 3D, which is moving. What was it? I know the dialogues, and I know who was the actor. I know the story also. Though the story has slightly forgotten, but I know most of it. Why? Because it is 3D. So eyes, they deceive. They deceive a lot. So control these five things. The control of the five indriyas, the control of the five senses is to become jitendriya, is to become karmendriya jit, is to become self-sovereign, is to become swarajya adhikari. When you control this, Baba says, you become god of coolness or goddess of coolness. Now such a person will not have anger or bossiness. Such a person will not have that anger or bossiness. Because anger is the result of something. So you cannot directly control the anger. You have to know the causes. Why? What is causing anger? From where it is emerging? Maybe it is the food. Maybe it is some vritti or some memory or some revenge or some habit or some ill will or some feeling of being tortured or injustice being done unto us. Find out the cause, the deep-rooted cause, from where it is coming out, and then only you can tackle the anger. Otherwise all the methods of anger management, they fall, because they do not address the root cause. For example, there was a young boy, small boy, and he used to catch all the other boys, and he beat them and get angry to them. The father called him and taught him, you should not get angry. I will teach you anger management. Whenever you get angry, start counting 1 to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that after some time, your anger will vanish. So one day the father sees through the window that this boy is sitting on the chest of another boy, holding him like this. And the father says, I told you, not to get angry. He says, I'm not angry, I'm just counting. 1, 2, 3. I'm about to get angry, that's why I'm counting. Once I finish the count, then I will take this man, this person. So these methods are temporary methods. Find out the root cause. There might be some dissatisfaction, some frustration, some depression, something. A boss is angry at home, angry in the office, and then gets angry with his wife. So it's a result of something. Things are connected. So Baba says, become the goddess of coolness, because there is a fever of anger everywhere. So you have to become what? Shitala Devi or Shital Dev. So those who are Shitala Devi and Shital Dev, they are Krodh Mukt, they are anger free, they are bossiness free. Even this bossiness is a separate subject, robe, which we don't equate with anger. But Baba says that is also a progeny of anger. So become Shital Dev and Shitala Devi. Om Shanti. Yeah, tell me. Yeah. Subconscious mind doesn't understand the language of words, sentences, words. It understands the language of pictures. So subconscious mind, if you want to access, you cannot go directly to subconscious mind. A thief knows that he should not steal, and he tells him, I will not steal tonight. But the moment night comes, he goes out. So the moment night comes, he goes out, because such a thing is not going to work. It understands the language of pictures, visualizations, affirmations, keep on, and it also understands a particular time is needed, early morning hours and night hours. These are the only times when subconscious, if this is subconscious mind and this is conscious mind, in between there is a barrier, we call it preconscious. This is lifted in the morning hours and this is lifted at the time of sleep. So whatever suggestions you give, auto-suggestions, affirmations, repetitions, visualizations, these all things gradually go into subconscious mind. Straight attack will not help. Gradually you have to train the subconscious mind. It takes time. You have to keep on, and some opposite thoughts. You have to talk with the mind like a child. You have to explain it. You cannot order it. If you order, probably it will react, it will revenge, it will just kick off your suggestions. So gradual, progressive training of the subconscious mind is needed. And for subconscious mind, the conscious mind should become calm. And one of the ways to make the conscious mind calm is meditation. In the stages of meditation, our yoga is only not for talking with Baba or enjoying super sensual. It is also to clear the subconscious clutter. So also bring those painful events of the life in front of your eyes and see that you are getting cleared. You are clearing them gradually. But do that only in the morning, in the meditation hours. If you do it in the daytime, you will identify with that event and you will start crying. If that is a painful event, you remember, you start crying. But if you do this in between, during yoga, in the morning hours, see it, the same event which had happened long back, the same event that had a very deep impression on your mind, recall it back and counter it. See it with naked eyes. If somebody is afraid of something, see that thing in front of your eyes every day, so that fear goes away. So that is to deal with this subconscious mind. Subconscious is nothing but the very deep sanskars which are embedded there. Okay, Om Shanti.